Hello and welcome back. This is managing emotional triggers for mindful spending. Now, the last session, we really got to identify personal emotional triggers. We did a mindfulness moment technique and really got to understanding why we might be overspending. Now, in this session, we're going to develop some strategies for managing those emotional triggers from last session so we can regain control over our spending habits. This session focuses on developing effective strategies, and we are going to get over our spending patterns and create a more mindful approach to our financial decisions. Now, let's talk about the first strategy, enhancing self awareness through mindfulness techniques, right? We want to really incorporate this strategy in our lifestyle from here on out. Because one thing about the subconscious mind is that it needs a replacement. Now, as we know, you may have an emotion of anger, happiness, boredom, whatever that may be, you have this emotion and then you are using that emotion to create the habit of overspending. Now, for us to really allow our emotions to create a positive outcome and not a negative one, we need to replace spending with another strategy. So in this case, we are going to be using mindfulness techniques. And this practice is paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's a powerful tool for managing emotional triggers and fostering mindful spending habits. By creating present moment awareness, this is where you can step out of the autopilot mode that often leads to impulsive decisions and gain a clearer perspective on our thoughts, our feelings, and actions. Now, one thing about the subconscious mind is that it remembers everything. So sometimes on autopilot, it will go back to an event where you did this habit, which is overspending. It will go back on autopilot mode and it will tune into that pattern you used to do many, many times before. So this isn't a quick fix thing. The more you do this technique, the more you're going to start to allow your mind to create new memories of how to deal with the emotions you are feeling. Now, one effective mindfulness technique for managing emotional triggers is EFT tapping. This is also known as emotional freedom technique. Now, as you know or not, in my journey, I did not know what EFT was, but I was doing it. And because I was already a legacy minded person, I already reprogrammed my mind to think in a legacy mindset. There were moments where I would just start randomly tapping on myself, randomly tapping on different points in my body. And this is an emotional nervous system regulation where it actually calms your nervous system, it calms your mind, it takes your mind out of the survival mindset of having to respond and instead calms you into a more peaceful state. So this is how I found out about EFT. It was years after actually where I did my certification in EFT and I was like, whoa, this is literally what I do without knowing what it was. And this is where your intuition is so important. The more you do these techniques is when you're going to really embody and empower your intuition to take over. Your intuition is your natural GPS compass embedded in your genetic encoding, okay? Without society, without the distraction of spending and all sorts of things that's external to us, wanting to fitting in groups that don't align with us, maybe learning things we don't care to learn that don't really allow us to become our best selves. These things take us farther and farther away from our intuition, even from our health habits, even from our spending habits. It's going to take us away from our intuition. So when you overspend, you're no longer going to be thinking about yourself. You're going to be thinking about the money you lost and the money you need to regain, right? Which takes you away from yourself. Emotional freedom tapping technique is going to realign you back to your intuition, back to your legacy timeline, where you can make effective decisions. So EFT tapping involves gently tapping on specific acupressure points on the face and upper body while focusing on the emotional trigger or the issue at hand. Now, if you work with me before, you already know EFT is literally the holy grail on in the moment, present moment grounding. This technique has been shown to reduce stress, anxiety, and negative emotion, making it a valuable tool for calming emotional outbursts and preventing impulsive spending behaviors. A book I've read also said it actually heals relationship issues, weight loss issues, addiction, phobias. So many things come from EFT tapping, and you can actually create miracles in your life. There's even some people who have got rid of the fear of swimming, a lot of fears in their life, and a lot of people heal themselves from different health issues like arthritis and depression. So these things is going to really improve and increase your mindset and make you a very stronger person. So when you want to do EFT is whenever it happens, right? Whenever I'm in the mall and I'm around a lot of people, I used to have social anxiety, not anymore. I would just randomly tap on my acupressure points, okay? Now, if you want to know more about EFT, you can easily go on my Instagram, Refining Her. You'll go in the highlight section, what is EFT? And I have a ton of videos and a lot of mini sessions making you more aware and grounded into your legacy mindset. So I have mini sessions on breakups, mini sessions on confidence, a lot of mini sessions in those highlights. So if you feel like you need more support around that, definitely go in those highlights. And if you want to have an EFT session, just strictly EFT for half an hour, which is such a powerful tool. We record it, and after the session, you have it there for life, so you can do it on your own. This is something that I definitely recommend you advocating for yourself. So EFT tapping is a tool that you tap on all the points, which is your wrist, the top of your head, top of the brow, side of the brow, top of the lip, under the eye, on the chin, your collarbone, the side of your bra strap, or underneath your arm, and then back to your karate chop or your wrist. That's how you end it off. And usually you go through it by saying things. So what would you say in an EFT tapping moment, right? Especially when it comes to mindful spending. Well, let's do one right now. Follow me. Tap on the points, and when I say switch, you can switch. I'll also have a diagram if you don't know the proper formation of the tapping points. But remember, you don't have to do it in order, by the way. It's freedom. You don't have to overthink it, but just tap on points that feel good. So how you can do that is tapping on your wrist, taking deep breaths, tapping on the top of your head, taking deep breaths, being mindful of each point you're tapping on and breathing, which one resonates more with you. And you will experience yawning, tears, crying, and just a beautiful release. Sometimes people sneeze, their nose starts to run. This means that your body is actively removing this emotion from yourself. So let's get into this moment, starting off by tapping on the wrist, taking a deep breath in. I am aware that I overspend. I am aware that I overspend. I feel really bad when I overspend. Deep breath in, top of the head. I find when I overspend, it just makes my life a bit harder. I don't like the feeling when I overspend. Top of the brow, deep breath in. Overspending makes me have more challenges in life. Overspending makes me have more challenges in life. Side of the brow. I notice whenever I overspend, I feel uncomfortable. I feel worried. I feel fear. Deep breath in. under the eye. Even though I overspend, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. Deep breath in, and just keep tapping on this point here. Taking deep breaths, being mindful of the emotions that are coming up. Deep breath in. I don't like overspending. Overspending makes my life harder. Top of the lip. I really want to get into my legacy mindset. Deep breath in. I know stopping this will improve my life. I know stopping this will improve my life. I just know it will. Tapping on your chin. I am aware when I overspend, money is gone from my account. I am aware when I overspend, I'm making my life harder. Deep breath in. Even when I overspend, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. Tapping on the chest. I see myself overcoming this challenge. I see myself improving my life. Deep breath in. I want you to envision the amount of money that you're going to save, that you're going to see in your account when you break away from this overspending. I want you to visualize how happy you're going to be, how free you're going to feel, that you no longer are tied to your emotions and overspending. I want you to start to envision the life that you'll have, the moments that you have with people, with friends, by yourself. Take a deep breath in. I release all ties to emotional spending. I see myself overcoming this challenge so easily. I am aware and I am willing. Deep breath in, side of the arm, under the arms. I feel safe knowing that I am dedicated to my legacy lifestyle. I feel safe knowing that I am looking out for my best interests. Deep breath in. I feel safe knowing that this too shall pass. I love myself. I do not blame myself for overspending. Deep breath in. I love myself. I know it's okay and it's going to get better. Now we're going to end off on the wrist. Deep breath in. I completely and deeply love and accept myself. I see myself overcoming this challenge. And even when I don't, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. Now just take a deep breath in and start to rub your hands together. Understand that your body is now activated. Your mind is now willing and capable of really being more mindful of what you want and who you want to become. Put your hands on your chest and just sit for a moment. Envision the feeling you're going to have when you break away from this habit. Envision how life is going to get so much easier and how much money is going to start flowing in your life. All the currency flowing into your bank account with ease, knowing that you do not have an urge to overspend. Everything you invest in is for your highest good. Everything you are investing in is for your highest good. Everything you invest in is for your highest good. Beautiful. Now let's get on with this session today. Now that we are activated and feeling really good, the next ones are really going to transform your life. So get ready. So at this point in time, I want you to journal. This is another effective mindfulness practice that can enhance your self-awareness and provide a space to process emotions constructively. By writing down our thoughts and feelings, we can gain a better understanding of our emotional triggers and identify patterns that contribute to impulsive spending. Journaling also allows us to express and release pent-up emotions, reducing the power to influence our financial decisions. So at this time, feel free to pause this, write some things down, write some inspiring things down if you feel called to, and just release everything that has come up from that last session we did. Beautiful. Welcome back. Let's go on to strategy 2. Identifying emotional cues and pausing before making decisions. Now that we are mindful in the moment, this strategy is really going to help you identify cues and pause. It's a crucial step in managing emotional triggers, in developing the ability to recognize emotional cues before they lead to impulsive spending, right? We are enlightening our self-awareness at this point. Before we got aware, now we are maximizing it and multiplying it even more. This involves paying attention to subtle changes in our physical sensations, our thoughts, our feelings as emotional triggers arise. So the best thing about what the previous session we did with EFT is that it's going to allow you to notice the points in your body where you felt most pressure or more energy, something that allows you to really see more of yourself. I know for a lot of people in my sessions, under the eye and the chest is a point where people feel a lot of emotions come up. They start to yawn, sneeze, tear up, or it just ultimately feels really good tapping there. That's a great example of knowing where these physical sensations are in your body. When it feels good, I recommend you tapping on it more so you can amplify that sensation. One industry standard technique for identifying emotion cues is called urge surfing. This method was actually developed by a psychologist, Marcia Linehan, and in my research, this technique involves observing the urge to spend without judgment, allowing it to rise and fall like a wave in the ocean. By observing the urge without acting on it, we can create a space between the urge and our response, empowering us to make more conscious and thoughtful decisions. So it's kind of like this. When you go shopping, you're probably like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have bought that. I'm so stupid, la la la. Instead of doing that, let's replace that with allowing it to happen, spending it without judgment, okay? And this might sound counterproductive because you're like, Golden, what do you mean spend and not feel anything about it? The thing is that the mind is so tricky sometimes. And when you want to spend and you have this urge to spend, and then on top of that, you're fighting yourself in a way with other advice and opinions rolling through your head, you're gonna ultimately amplify the urge to spend more. This is just how the mind works. It's like a little kid throwing a tantrum, right? If a child falls and you look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, oh no, this you're hurt, they're gonna cry, they're gonna play into it. But the whole purpose with urge surfing is you did it, it's done, and there's no emotions attached to it. So now in the future, when you have an emotional trigger, this is not a trigger because you didn't feel any emotions. You didn't attach any emotions response towards it. Does that make sense? If you need some more information on this, feel free to definitely reach out. I can create some more content for you to understand it, or we can just have a discussion about it. But any questions, feel free to put it below and we'll talk about it. So strategy 3, implementing emotional regulation tools. Okay, remember, we are adding on to the mindfulness techniques. We are enhancing it, and this one tool is going to add to that technique and self-awareness practice. Emotional regulation tools can provide valuable resources for managing emotional triggers and preventing impulsive spending. These tools help us to manage our emotions effectively by reducing the ability to cloud our judgment and lead to poor financial decisions. So, this includes relaxation techniques such as deep breathing exercise, progressive muscle relaxation. I call it yoga, stretching, right? I personally adore stretching. I don't really do yoga, but I love stretching and deep muscle relaxation stretching. I don't know about you, but our nerves are aligned with our muscles. So if we have tension anywhere, it's always important to focus on stretching those muscles, especially before bed. I love to do this relaxation technique. It's an effective way to calm the nervous system and reduce emotional reactivity. So this goes by deep breathing, and deep breathing has been shown to activate the parasympathetic system, also known as the peace state. And before I go to sleep or whenever I want to get into this relaxation mode, I close my right nostril. I take deep breaths, deep breaths, just like in the beginning. I take deep breaths, filling up my stomach, holding the breath for 5 seconds, pushing it all out for 15 seconds until there's no air left. And then I'll go down to my feet. I love massaging my feet. If you have a sensational part in your body you love to touch and massage, this is a perfect technique to do it. Everyone's different. Some people it's their hands, their arms, whatever it is. I had a client where they like their back rubbed and they like their back scratched. So everyone has different ways of feeling. And for me, it was my feet. So before bed, I'll do my nostril breathing and then I'll start rubbing my feet, stretching my ankles, stretching my legs, feeling where the tension is, and just stretching. I also would stretch my hips and massage my hips because as women, a lot of us have a lot of tension in our hips. Along with men too, they have it actually in their lower back and their upper buttocks area. That's where a lot of their tension is. But everyone's different, and just touch your body, know where there's tension, and feel where there is actually good sensation. Because the reason why you impulsive buy is because you want to feel good, right? You have this emotion you don't like, and you want to feel good by this instant gratitude. But ultimately, you don't need anything outside of you. All you need to do is just find your pleasure points of what feels good, what feels relaxing, and activating that through the parasympathetic nervous system breathing technique I just mentioned. So the next one, positive talk. So usually when I'm massaging my feet and I'm very calm, ooh, positive talk is what I do. I'm just like that girl. I'll be like, yes, girl, you feel good. I'm amazing. Like, I'm so glad I'm taking care of myself. Like, I just talk to myself. It's another powerful tool for regulating emotions and creating a more mindful approach to spending. By replacing negative self-talk with positive affirmations, we can shift our perspective, reduce self-criticism, and focus on our strengths and goals. So instead of like, oh my gosh, I feel bored, I feel worried, I feel fear, I need to go shopping, you're going to always be in a calm state. That is the key here. Always putting yourself in a calm and positive state. And positive self-talk can also boost our self-confidence, making us less susceptible to lowering our impulsive purchases, okay? So managing emotional triggers from mindful spending requires a multifaceted approach that combines these techniques, self-awareness practices, and emotional regulation tools. By implementing these strategies, we can actually create greater awareness of our emotional patterns, develop the ability to pause before making impulsive decisions and financial choices that align with our values and long-term goals. A last bonus I want to also add here is moving your body, dancing, stretching, just really feeling in the moment. Play your favorite song and just start moving and dancing and doing whatever it is. And at first it might feel weird, but really get in tune with your first house, which is your body. Your first house is what's going to keep you safe from all the external things on your journey. And regulating that and keeping that in a peaceful state is not going to allow you to do decisions that don't align with your legacy lifestyle. So I'm so happy you came here to this session. I hope you practice these techniques every single day. Remember, being an active participant in your life is what's really going to make the change. The effort and the action is what's really going to create miracles in your life. And the more you do it, I promise you, the more you're going to start to see yourself changing and shifting and not responding in ways you used to respond before. And you're going to be like, whoa, this is really cool. I want more of it. And then you'll be doing more and more and more. And now you're going to align your mindset on your feminine timeline, on your legacy timeline, where you are actively seeking, increasing, and progressing in all ways in life. And remember, rest is progressing, okay? So don't think you always have to be go, 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 go. Take some time, put yourself in that relaxation state, get some self-care, massage the points that feel good to you, do some EFT tapping, journal, and get really in tune with your life, your main character energy. It's all about you. And we'll see you next time. So you take care. Any questions you may have, feel free to reach out. Any sessions you need more help with EFT tapping, this is where you want to be. Tap in, book a session, and I hope you have a beautiful day.